Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Girl Boss Method podcast. I'm your host, Richu Bra, and for today's episode, we are going to be talking all about why the maintenance phase is important when it comes to your fitness journey. So I did see this the other day. I won't take credit for this quote, but in terms of your fitness journey, the maintenance phase is not sexy. And the reason being is quite often when we're looking at working towards goals, there's always a vision, there's always a purpose, there's always a goal, right? There's always a target. So whether that's sort of building your summer body in winter, or whether that's actually just getting ready to lean out or drop body fat when it comes to getting closer towards summer. Those things are often, they're very driven towards, something exciting to look forward to. There's always a holiday. And yeah, there's bikini wearing and that sort of thing. So that's where I was thinking about this quote that I saw about the maintenance phase not being sexy, because it definitely isn't. But equally, it's quite important. And oftentimes this time of year, it's very difficult for people to think about maintenance as being a goal, especially if they've spent most of the year working towards a specific goal. Perhaps you've achieved this goal. So if I talk to you directly, the listener, perhaps you've been working towards this goal in this body, and now it's the end of October. Just for purposes of this topic, it's the end of October. We've got a couple of days. We're heading into November, and then it's Christmas. So quite often at this time of year, it's so easy to say, I haven't got time. Things start to ramp up at work. Social events kick in. We've only got really a number of weeks when it comes to Christmas as well, in terms of work parties and things like that. Quite often they're actually done in November. I remember when I was employed that these things always seem to happen, and they'd start around November thereon. So you've got work events, friends events, family events, all sorts of things around this time of year. So it's not only Christmas, actually. So here in the UK, we do have a large Asian population as well, and many of them do have their traditions or festivals that they celebrate, one of them being Diwali, let's say. And if you're listening to further afield, let's say the States, then you've got things like Thanksgiving and stuff, which I think, with the UK and London as well, becoming this like very cultural mixed melting pot of people from all over the world and all different celebrations. These will start to feed into your calendar as well. So the reason why it's important is, unfortunately, this time of year where people do tend to slip, let stand and sit. They won't have time for the gym. They won't have time for, thinking about their macros or their calories, or even their like portion controls and that sort of thing. There's more opportunity for drinking alcohol as well. Unfortunately, year on year, people do actually start to put weight on during this period. So it might not actually be other times of the year, but this time, just because of the history of everything, that it will be this time of year that people put the weight on. So maintenance phase actually teaches us how to sustain healthy habits over the long term. This is going to be crucial when you are focusing on lasting fitness and health benefits. Quick fixes and extreme diets, they often lead to yo-yo fluctuations, and they can be detrimental to health overall. So it's really important that you understand. And if you don't have a coach, this is possibly even more of an important reason to have a coach, or even having someone that's holding you accountable, be it that a partner or a friend, or a fitness community. It's so important to have that support that teaches you that, you know, long lasting lifestyle changes. So that's where sustainability is going to be really important. We're obviously then, when we're thinking about the maintenance phase, we're not thinking about overindulgent, because quite often when people are dieting, they know how to kind of restrict calories or portion control. And then on the flip side, they tend to kind of overeat or overconsume. And being in that maintenance phase, they don't actually know how to navigate through that. And look, it's important to know that, yes, there will be some what we call seasonal weight gain, but it's not going to be massive, especially if you are being held accountable and keeping those healthy habits consistent. Also, during the maintenance phase, we're going to be thinking about preservation of muscle mass. And so what I mean by that is that, yes, we're thinking about preserving muscle mass when we're in our calorie or deficits, let's say. But when we're thinking about kind of eating, I don't know, let's say yo-yoing back and forth, people might not actually consider things like their protein intake. Again, they might not be training as much, or they might not even be training at all. They might be thinking about new year, new me, thinking about January only, and thinking, right, whatever happens now, it's by the by. In January, I'll be ready to nail it and we'll get back to work. Unfortunately, you know, you're just going to give yourself a harder start in January. And right now, it's important to kind of keep those sustainable habits that you've worked on throughout the year. We don't want to, well, we want to ensure that we're retaining that muscle, and that's going to be essential when it comes to sort of a healthy metabolism and overall strength, and maintaining that fitness as well. And I've kind of said it already, but you know, with the maintenance phase, it's also very important in terms of establishing healthy or lifestyle habits, you know, not necessarily always talking about health, but just the habits that we've changed, the lifestyle that we're trying to come towards. We are going to be focusing on, you know, building that opportunity and solidifying those changes that are going to allow us transform these habits into our new normal. So again, making it less likely to revert back to habits that we may previously have when we were working towards our like fat loss or weight loss goals. Okay. And then finally, I wanted to talk about the emotional and mental health. If you've listened to some of the previous podcast episodes, I had one recent to this episode with another lady who was actually a business owner, and she was just talking about how focusing on her health and making it part of the maintenance phase allows her to kind of enjoy those benefits, reduce the stress associated with life, with business, with continued dieting. So just coming into that maintenance phase just allows you to, you know, offset any of that mental and emotional exhaustion that weight loss does to us, you know, and then coming into that maintenance phase. So look, at this time of year, there are steps that we can take to maintain. There are steps that we can take to, you know, work towards things like weight loss for the future, especially if that's been a goal that's been on your mind for a while. Right now, it's trying to offset any detriment, basically. And then when we're thinking about how to overcome those challenges, I've kind of talked about those a little right now, but we need to think about goal setting. So setting realistic goals, establish our long-term goals that are going to focus on, you know, the health and well-being overall, rather than just our appearance. This is going to create that shift in mindset that can make that maintenance phase seem more appealing and actually sustainable. So we're not just thinking about the age that we are now and next year or even 5 years. We're thinking about all the work that we do right now and how that's going to benefit you in your future self, as unsexy as that sounds. But yes, when you're like 70, 80, 90 years old, okay, this is all the groundwork that we do now that's going to help make life a lot easier as we age. Another way of overcoming this is actually just monitoring your progress right now. So yes, continuing to track your progress. So, you know, if that's not a focus on weight loss, we can measure our fitness in other ways. We can look at recording our training sessions. So within our Girl Boss Method app, obviously I set the reps and the sets for you, the exercises, the workout routines. But week on week, we can actually see those strength gains occur. We can see improved body composition as well. So again, this is where, you know, if we are stepping away from the scales for a short period of time, because for whatever reason that might be that you don't want to look at that right now, we can look at using a tape measure to kind of see changes, you know, see how your glutes have grown, or see how your arms have toned up, or your legs, for example. Another way of overcoming these issues is looking at creating variety within your fitness routine. So we can look at changing your exercise routine. We can also look at, again, coming back to goals, but is there a goal that you want to work on right now during this maintenance phase that's going to benefit you later on? Again, thinking about strength gains as well. So for myself, I haven't really exposed this. I haven't really talked about it to anyone just yet, but I was thinking that in time for my next birthday, which is in March, I was thinking about setting a target of getting back into running. So wouldn't call myself a runner. I would say that it was definitely something that I was more interested in as I was growing up, because I did do athletics, and I was quite keen on running, and it was quite a great form of exercise to kind of do, because we didn't always have access to things like weights and stuff, and it wasn't really kind of pushed on young women or even girls. It wasn't seen as something that we'd gravitate towards. So yeah, I kind of want to get back to doing something that challenges me and is going to put me in a different mindset as well. So I am looking at doing a run of some sort. I haven't signed up to anything yet, so I'm just putting, the feelers out there. Something that I can manage as well within my lifestyle right now, that's not going to push the boat out too much, where I just start throwing everything else to the side. So it needs to kind of just something to kind of, like a goal, basically, just a new goal. And yes, I do also have a goal of improving my pull-up game as well, because that just, it keeps things fun and interesting as well. So it's nice to be able to work on those things, having something to work on when I'm in the gym as well. And then obviously thinking about support as well. So, whether you're sharing that goal with your friends or your partner, joining a fitness community like the Girl Boss Method, just having that support system is going to help keep you accountable and provide that encouragement that we need to keep us going during this maintenance phase. And I guess this is, in summary, the maintenance phase is critical towards your lifestyle and fitness and health journey. We're going to think about building on those healthy habits, taking our mindset away from this constant restriction or weight loss goal, allow ourselves to come into this season, because it's winter. Well, we're coming into winter literally in the next few days. Coming into this season with a different mindset and just thinking about that overall health, long-term commitment. That's a worthy goal in itself. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if this is your first time listening to the Girl Boss Method, give me a follow on Instagram. You can send me a message on there as well. My name is Richu Bra, and we spell that RichuBrar. So it's at Richu Bra on Instagram. And send me your thoughts, your questions on this topic, anything you feel like you need help with. I'd love to hear about any suggestions for new topics as well. And yes, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you here next time.